Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Let's Play of Full Spectrum Dominance from Lazy Forger. I'm joined by Jack, and if you've not met him already, he is one half of the Lazy Forger. We spoke previously when the beta rules were just being put together and sort of being play tested, and you've got an upcoming campaign to actually release the rules publicly. So when's that going to be taking place?
So after a few iterations, we finally got to a point where we're ready to release the game, and we got a very good date, which is December 13, right after Black Friday, before the Christmas praise. And well, now we have a deadline. We have to finish it.
That's good to hear. So for people who aren't aware, Full Spectrum Dominance is a combined arms science fiction game, scaled for 6mm, but it's nebulous. You can go larger if you want.
Yeah, we tried to be since the game is the rules of the game, we tried to be as open as possible in terms of miniatures, in terms of scales. So we always call the game for small scales because it's pretty hard to play it with 28mm, but it plays perfectly well with 15mm. In fact, most people who are very confident in playing on a 4 by 6 feet table would like to play it in 15mm because it plays on that table with that scale. Personally, I'm lazy. I am slow at painting. I would never be able to make a whole army in that scale. So for me, 6mm is the way. Also, I really like the scale. Also, everything prints on a printer, which is a nice thing. When you want to do larger stuff, you need the larger printer, which I don't have. So all things considered, the game has been played mostly on 6mm, but there is no reason whatsoever why it shouldn't be played in 15. Miniatures wise, that's pretty much the same. You can use whatever you want. It is miniature agnostic, but I made some miniatures. We are actually working on more miniatures that are being done. So sure, you can use ours, you can use your own. It's really not important.
Okay. We've got a tabletop simulator version set up here, which you're going to run me through my first ever game.
Okay,
Please be gentle.
I usually lose, so it's okay.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah. We're of a pair then.
We had a few attempts on Tabletop Simulator. Eventually, we decided to just go with scaled down models, like simplified models of the same models we have for sale, which gives a nice feeling of the game, even though the models are, of course, unpainted. They're just a static plastic color. But that gives like an idea of what's what, the size of every part of it. And that kind of works well. So during the game, you're going to see the models. You're going to see that they have a pretty low detail, but that's just because Tabletop Simulator in doing that. At the end of the day, it's better than a cheat anyway.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into it then and take a look and see what we have here. So who are the forces arrayed on both sides?
Are we on the table? Okay, yeah. I moved to the table myself. So the table I prepared for Tabletop Simulator is not like a generic table where you can put everything. Sure, you can mod this one, you can change whatever from this one. But right now, my goal was for people who never had the chance to play one game. So there is one scenario set up. So even the table colors and shapes are meant for that scenario. And the scenario is the first one of the manual, the one that I usually use for demoing too. And many other people actually are using it too. So the feedback is that this is a good intro scenario. And I selected units for both sides already in order to have a full-sized army. So the game of Full Spectrums usually requires 60 points per side. Points, just like in any other games, are the way you purchase stuff. And as you can see on both sides, the amount of miniatures that are present are not many, and half of them are set on a side. So I like to call this game as a skirmish because at the end of the day, you really don't have many miniatures on the table. It's not that different from a skirmish, but it is still combined arms. So you still have all the dynamics that you get from combining the advantages and disadvantages of infantry, tanks, and other stuff. So compared to a skirmish in 20mm, where you can have heavy troops, light troops, but they are all inherently humans or humanoids or something like that. You could have tanks, but they usually don't work the way you should do. Because everything is too small for that. So in this case, you actually have tanks acting as actors, just like infantry units or big mechs or whatever in between. You notice that half of the stuff is outside the table. That's because most scenarios use a sort of waves system that allows you to place stuff as you go towards the game. Generally, those waves are selected by each player secretly. Here, I just put them openly so you can see what's coming, just because it's easier. It makes everything easier to track for a first game. So the advantage of this is that even more, you don't have too many things going on at the same time. And once you get to have everything on the table, it's likely that you already lost something. Plus, at that point, the direction of the game is kind of already chosen, so you don't have too many variables going on. At the same time, that gives also an extra choice for the player before the game and during the game, because deploying stuff as you go, since the deploy areas each turn usually change a bit, that adds a new layer of tactics in each game. So yeah, this is pretty much all the components you need for a game. You have your units, you have your cards that represent either units, characters, which are associated to units, or even external supports. You can see some in the tech. There is a direct command and a satellite uplink, which are just single-use cards that give you some advantages, and they cost some points. So you can choose to get them. You can choose to get some infantry instead of them. That's up to you, really. Other than that, there are a few dice. We don't use D4. We don't use D20. Everything in between, we do, even though D12 is pretty rare for some reason. And then there are these tiny dice on the side, which you really don't want to roll as if they were normal D6s. And those dice are the activation dice. So the activation die is the core mechanism for the activation, which is one part of the game. It clearly, very openly tries to mimic the mechanics of Saga, but it uses it in a fairly different way. So there are some similarities. If you played Saga, you would definitely see something in common, but then the way they're used is pretty different for pretty different outcomes. So you notice that there are no pinned or active or scared or whatever tokens. There is only one type of token on the side of each player, which is wooden cubes. I have one in my hand right now. It's just the kind of thing that you would have, whatever it is. You can use peanuts, you can use whatever you have handy. And the idea is that you should not need more than one marker at a time for something. So some of them will be on the table just because. You might even not put them on the table, but it makes sense to have some on the table to mark when a unit is pinned, mostly because it's very convenient for the other player to see what is pinned and what is not immediately. And then the way everything else is tracked is either through activation dice put on slots on top of the cards, or with tokens used to mark damage. The way damage is tracked allows for units not to have health points. You don't have this Battletech style or full trust style life that goes down, which requires quite a bit of bookkeeping. In this case, I tried to minimize the amount of tokens or noting you need, and well, you see how it works. Okay. So that's pretty much it. The only thing remaining is the victory cards. Victory cards are, it's basically an entirely different mechanic of the game. When you score points, when you do something that gives you points, you actually draw victory cards. Victory cards have victory points on them, but they are secret. So the first thing is, I know how many cards you have. I don't know how many points you have, which means that if we are in a sort of tight situation, where I'm probably, I don't know, I have 3 cards, you have 4. Yeah, you're probably going to win, but it's actually not that obvious. So I'm not going to send all my troops to sacrifice just in the hope to make one more victory card. I will be a bit more responsible on my troops because I'm really not sure if I have more points than you or not. Plus, victory cards, all of them have a second option, which is to reveal it and get some cool bonus for the game or for the turn or whatever. And that usually gives you a few, it makes you lose a few points at the end of the turn of the game. So you can choose at every moment whether to use not one or not. So more choices for the player, which is nice. That's pretty much all we need for playing.
Okay. So we've 2 different forces set up here. Who we're looking at then, we have the sort of orange Socrates, Battle Rig, and friends over here, which is very droid heavy.
Yeah. Sorry?
No, I'm just saying that it's a very droid heavy force.
It's yeah. So the way armies are organized in Full Spectrum, right now it's only 2 that are available or will be available in the first edition, in the first release, but we already have 1 more that is being tested and 1 more that is being developed. So it's going to be at least 4 more to come, I hope. So the way things work is that each army has their own unit and characters and special abilities, and support cards. And then there are the gray ones, which are common to everyone. So the idea now was to make some very specific and with a very strong play style kind of army, which is the tech. So yeah, mostly droids. They have no humans with them. And on the other side, we made the enlisted, which is the most vanilla, the most Mario kind of army, which is just humans being humans and doing human stuff. So you can notice that they have a lot of troop carriers, infantrymen, they have gunner walkers, all stuff that everyone else can have. So what makes them particular is that they have a lot of different options for vehicles, for tanks, and a few other useful stuff that the others don't. So what you'll see here is a more standard game style on one side and a bit more exotic one on the other. So this one is droid heavy. The other one is kind of boring in terms of composition. But then you have so many options. You can have a tank-only army. You can have an army with like more long-range cannons, which are pretty unique. You can have an army which is actually made mostly of infantry, but then you have the special abilities of the characters of this faction, which are quite a few. There is only 1 here, but there's not actually 2, but there are many more. So the idea is that by combining what's available to everyone and the special treats that each other faction can benefit from, you get different playstyles, different feels for each list, even in the same army.
Okay. Right. Well, I think all things that we need to do is to pick a side and get stuck in then.
Absolutely. You choose your side. I'm happy either ways. I played this scenario quite a few times.
Well, in that case, I think I'll go for the vanilla Mario-esque force.
Okay, very well. Okay, so you play the Marios. So the scenario is called Until the Last Bit. I think that was the last name we gave to it. You are tasked to, well, we both are, to get to the 3 antennas in the center of the table. The 3 antennas all are sending data or something like that. So you want to get control of it with some of your units. When the first person who gets in control of each of the antennas, you see there is a token on them, gets the token and draws 1 victory card. And at the end of each turn, each round actually, the player who has more antennas under their control for that turn draws a victory card. So in addition to that, you must defend your tokens, your 3 objectives, defense objectives. They're not very commonly obtained by me because they're really much on your side of the table. But if you leave one totally unaccounted for, I will try to get there and get that free victory card for me. So once a player controls one of the 3 antennas, for the next turn, the players gets to deploy in the brown circle around the antenna their troops if they have more to play for that turn. And other than that, I think I said everything about the scenario. Oh yeah, from the 4th turn onward, any player who has any unit in the central antenna can decide to destroy the antenna, and the turn, the game end at the end of that round. So that's a way. I don't think we will get to the 4th turn. I think that for this presentation, since we're going to explain and everything, after a while, we will be happy with what we have. But if we can destroy the central antenna.
Okay, we shall get ready, and we'll be right back in just one moment for the start of turn 1.
So to begin the game, the first step is definitely deploying.
Okay.
We don't have many units. Both of us has like just 5 units to deploy. So it's a pretty quick process. Checking the highest command value among your troops. Mine is 3 and yours should be 3 as well, because you have a tank commander. We just roll a d6, simple as that. And we add the command, and the winner becomes the active player in the first turn, which gets to deploy second for the first. Well, so I'm the active player because I rolled a glorious 2.
Oh, so high.
Yeah, and you get to deploy the first unit. So, but as a definition, unit is either one tank or everything that is represented in one card. So you can deploy these 3 if you want, but in this case, it makes sense that both these units are within, like transported by the transports. So you might start deploying one of these 5. Just to have a quick overview of what you have 2 transports, which are pretty fragile, but not too fragile, and they transport troops. That's very fast. That usually brings you very quickly to the objectives, ways faster than I do. And then you have 3 main battle tanks. I divided the units in waves in a way that is not overly convenient strategically, but it shows new stuff coming in every turn. So I hope that's fine. I try to be equally unfair for both players. And so you have 3 battle tanks, and this battle tank has a commander. So you have 1 and 2 characters. Characters are associated to one unit, in this case to a vehicle, in this case to the infantry, and they have their own slots for abilities. So the way the whole activation dice work is basically that you roll them at the beginning of a turn, and then over the turn you decide when and what to place where, and then when you activate something you can use their actions. So the limit of actions for each unit is 2, but the NCO and the tank commander can use their ability independently. It's not about those 2. You can activate the unit, use this ability, and then activate the unit properly. So characters are pretty cool, and they are associated to one unit. They stay associated to that unit till the end of the game, unless you are the tech, which is a unique ability they have. They have fewer characters. They can only have 1 character per type, but the characters are softwares. So at the beginning of every turn, I decide where to associate each, and even if the unit gets destroyed, I still get to keep it. They're very powerful. You usually want to have them in your army, but they're only 2 or 3. In your case, you might add as many as you want. You can have many tank commanders. They're expensive, but not that expensive, and so forth. So beginning with the deployment, you just place one of the 5 units you have here and deploy it within 1 DU, the gray area on your side of the table.
Okay, so if I want to go ahead and deploy one of these troop carriers with a unit already preloaded in it?
Yeah, leave the unit there, like the infantry, and you just place it.
So it will go down, and then 2 of the 3 units will accompany it? Is that right?
No. I'm just saying, like this one is a unit. The 3 of them together is a unit.
All 3 bases are one full unit,
and they are inside. Simple as that. You don't need to put them anywhere. Okay, I will start by placing my infantry, and my infantry is going to be here. Sorry, it's going to be here. My infantry right now, it is not in cover, so it's going to be quite easy to pin down, but there is also not very easy to hit it directly. So hopefully it's going to be fine. What you do?
Okay. I will fight fire with fire, so to speak. And I'm going to go ahead and bring...
Without the transport?
Without the transport, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So have those closer.
It is all right.
Somewhere around there anyway.
As a personal philosophy, I don't believe in millimeter measurements.
Oh, thank God for that.
No. That's also the reason. Yeah, that's also the reason why the game uses distance units. Right now, sadly, we only have inches, but the game works in multiple of 3 inches. If you're playing 6 millimeters, it goes up to 6 inches if you're playing 50 millimeters. The idea is you don't want to find yourself in a situation where 1 millimeter matters. And if you do personally, and that's me, not the game, I really don't care. Do whatever.
Okay. Back to yourself then.
Absolutely. Since you're there with that, I am going to put a Xeno, and I'm going to put the Xeno. I don't like this here. I'm going to put it here. Very well.
Hiding, you say?
Yeah. The thing is, my Xenos and my Socrates can jump.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that one is going to stay there and do whatever it feels like. It feels right at the moment.
I feel like I'm probably going to support these infantry with a tank.
Absolutely. Keep in mind that the tank commander has the ability when you are activating. So there is this thing that is the command value. So in order, since it's not really fun to activate 1 unit each until the turn ends, also it's very slow. Command value allows every unit to activate any other number of units within 2 distance units, 6 inches here. And the tank commander, when doing so, can use a die to make them have 1 extra movement. So the one you put there is not the tank commander, right? But if you put the tank commander here, you have already 1 vehicle there. Maybe having another, you can do a huge movement just using 1 die. Saves you quite a lot of dice, considering that you don't have that many.
Good to know.
So just so you know, that's it. Okay, that's good. I am going to place this infantry here. So I apologize in advance for the lack of proper information I should be giving beforehand, but I will put them as they go. Infantry uses terrain in a very abstract manner, but also quite powerful. So as long as infantry is in touch with any terrain, it's considered as in cover, even if it's in touch with the terrain behind. The idea is I couldn't make terrain that are walkable by infantry. So if it's touching the terrain, it means that it's mingling with it. It's inside it. It's using it as cover, whatever. So right now, this unit is in cover. Right now, this is not. And this one is not if you put it a bit different, but it's fine. First turn, we're not going to kill each other too much.
Well, that's what you think. You haven't seen my spectacular dice rolling yet.
I'm just hopeful.
Okay, I'm going to bring another mainline battle tank onto this flank.
Very well. Not the commander again.
Yep.
All right. Let's change the color of the commander if you like. I'm gonna change it slightly darker, so you can see it's the commander. Just because.
Yeah.
Okay, so you put the tanks there. I am going to put the other Xeno here.
I feel like I'm about to get flanked.
Maybe not sleeping. Okay. It's up to you.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Right. Well, I mean, it wasn't really much of a...
Yeah, it's a quick thing. It's just that the way you deploy things really matters. So since it's very few of them, it really doesn't take much to deploy. Okay, I have 1 Socrates, which I'm going to put here. So for the purpose of this game, houses block line of sight, even the short ones. These walls don't. They just provide extra cover if you want to hit on the other side.
Okay. So deployment all done.
Actually, you still have this.
Oh, I still have my other troop carrier.
It's empty.
It is. Does it have to be, or does it have to remain with the unit that would transport?
Absolutely not. No. Can do whatever. Consider that every unit has 2 actions that can do. Loading another unit is 1 action. So, and the other unit has to be able to do that action. So if at the beginning of the turn you have both, you can actually load 1 unit and move Or you can even shoot, then load, and this one loads and move.
Okay.
So the loading action is performed by both parties, of course.
All right.
Very well.
In that case, done and dusted.
So we're gone with that. I did win the initiative the first turn.
You did, unfortunately.
Sorry?
You did, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. So the way activation dice work, it's the thing that caused a bit more headaches to people because it's unusual. So dice are put in the spent pile. You have the pile where the dice are basically ready to be rolled again. In this moment, at the beginning of the first turn and every other turn, actually I'm saying turn, but I should be saying round, we roll 8 dice. Okay. So here they are. And these are the dice we rolled. Then we have, we can reroll any number of them once. So we select them and reroll. Keep in mind that the values of the dice are not, it's not like 6 is good and 1 is bad. Depending on what you need to do, you might want more 1s or more 6s. In general, 6s and 1s are the best. Going towards the center, it becomes less useful. But in your case, for instance, you don't have many 1s, but if you want to use commander abilities or if you want to use deploying for guns or for scouts, you do want to use some low dice. In general, this faction is a bit 5 to 6 heavy, so it tends to prefer higher rolls. In the case of the tech, it's a bit more balanced because cannons require 4 to 6, but a lot of jumps, a lot of rockets require 1s and 2s. So it really depends on your army and your strategy for the turn. For instance, in my case, I have a lot of 6s and a lot of 5s, but only 1, 1, and 1, 2. So I'm actually re-rolling the 3, the 4, and probably 1, 5. Okay. That's going to be my reroll. And
we both go ahead and roll these simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, you roll them once, then you choose which one to reroll them, and you're happy. You definitely need a 1 or a 2 if you want to use the commander here.
Yep.
But maybe the 4s and the 3 you really don't need.
No.
And you might want to have more 4 or 6s. You could choose to reroll the 2 and keep only the 1. I don't know. It's really up to you. Oh, that one fell. That was not a 1. That was like a 4.
It was a 4. Oh, that's all right. We should re-roll it anyway. Yeah, a lot of my cannons are 4 to 6 or 5 to 6. So
yeah, exactly. So like 4s are not really useful now. So you got all the 4s.
I'm nothing if not luck. Consistent.
That's the beginning of your luck, I guess. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Okay, very well. So you have we both have our dice, and now the alternating rounds for the activation begin. Before that, keep in mind that right now you can put any number of these dice already on units. So the way activation works in general is that when you want to activate something that hasn't activated already this turn, you just sacrifice 1 die and move it directly from the ready pile to the spent pile, and then the actions go. But before that, you can put any number of dice anywhere on slots. So 4 to 6 means you can only put a die between 4 and 6. 1 to 2 is between 1 and 2. And you can put any of them whenever you want, basically at the beginning of every round of yours. Why would you want not to put them? Well, the thing is, they're not usually enough dice for everything. So if you put them there, you cannot put them back. So the later you put them, the better. But you can react to my stuff. So if you have a main battle tank like this one, and you see me moving in front of you, you can choose, instead of activate the tank, you can choose to react with the tank. That's basically an activation, but you only do 1 action. So it's a bit less convenient, but if you don't have a die here, you cannot shoot with a cannon. You can only shoot with the MG. Okay. So this is the whole idea of the activation dice, and the reason why you might want to put some on there, but maybe not all of them. For instance, maybe this tank would be happy to have 1 die. So if I jump here with a Xeno, you can just shoot me in the face without me even noticing. Instead, if I get to land here and then move somewhere, you will not see me.
Sure. And when you're preloading the cards with activation dice? Is it done in initiative order, or is it turn around?
In general, you do it at the beginning of your alternating turn, so there is no initiative needed. Okay. Here, since I won initiative, you put some, and then I start my first turn. So you basically are preloading before the beginning of the alternating turns. Otherwise, I get one turn where you cannot react, and that's not great.
Yeah, I feel that.
Just as a convenient thing to do, since the tanks now are in a different order on the table, well, they're not actually. So this one is the... Well, you can reorganize the cars just to track things. Yeah, I do always do that in real life, but here it's really the same. It's not many things. I'm not getting too much lost, but
as to what unit is which.
I will probably do it because battle droids. Yeah, that's simple and convenient. Very well. So you put as many as you want wherever. I don't know if you have specific ideas. Some stuff is clearly not useful. Other stuff might be.
Grenade. Oh no, grenade's very up close and personal. So, put my tank commander in the middle here.
All right.
Probably going to grab that for this. I suppose battle tanks have got their cannon covered on each flank.
Yeah, that makes sense. With that. Definitely makes sense, yeah. So if I jump here, I get you hitting me, which is definitely not bad. So what I'm going to do to begin is probably just to advance with some infantry, because why not? So I'm activating the battle droids, and by activating the battle droids, I actually mean activating the Xeno with this one. Yes. Do you actually see my arrows?
Yeah.
So the Xeno activates, and the battle droids are moved with it because it makes sense. So I'm starting by I start by putting some dice around. So I'm going to put a die on jump, and battle droids don't need any die. So I think I'm good as I am right now. I'm going to use to activate the Xeno. I'm going to move directly this die. It's a 2 to the spent die pile. And then the Xeno is moved. So I'm going to do 2 actions with the Xeno. The first action is going to be a jump. The Xeno jumps by 4 distance units, which here translates to 12 inches. So I can basically go, well, quite a lot around. Ideally, now I'm going to actually land here, so I am not seen by any of the 2 tanks that have reaction right now. By jumping, you cannot shoot me while I'm jumping, of course. So this is the first action. And the second action, actually, I'm going to move a bit more like this. Okay.
Yep.
Pre-measuring is always available, is always possible, of course. So I'm just going to shoot at these infantry. So the infantry is not in cover. Remember when I said, oh, you can leave it there, nobody's going to shoot at you? Yeah, that happened. Anyways, I'm going to shoot at the infantry. I am pretty far, so it's not super great because my minigun, which is free, so I don't need a die to activate it, has 3 distance unit. So I'm at 4 distance unit, which means more than 3, let's say. It's like more than 9 inches, which means that I can actually still shoot, but I have a +1 to hit. And I cannot double that value. So basically, a minigun that has 3 distance units can shoot up to 6. Okay. So I can shoot at you, but while your defense is 4+, it becomes 5+ because you are too far. I'm going to shooting 3d6s. The way combat works is pretty simple. I roll my dice, whatever they are. They could be 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. And to hit, I have to do higher than your defense. In this case, your defense is 4. If infantry gets in cover, it has +2, so it becomes 6. And in this case, if that was in cover, it would have been 7, which is impossible to hit with light weapons like minigun, which has d6 to hit. Right now, it's 4. It becomes 5 because it's distant, and I'm going to roll 3 of them. I hit with 1.
Okay.
Rolling a 6. The way defense work or save is that you must, for each successful hit, you must roll your defense.
Okay.
In this case, this is just infantry, right?
Yes.
Infantry has, is that the one with the, no, it's just normal infantry.
No, it's just normal infantry, yeah.
Defense for infantry.
On the other side.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Defense for infantry is a d6. So you must do 6+ because I did a 6. If I rolled a 7 with a cannon, you wouldn't need to roll any save. You will be dead. But if I'm in close combat, maybe you have a very low defense. I hit you with a 4, then you can do 4, 5, 6 and save.
So you've got to equal or beat what the hit roll was. So bigger weapons will just go right through me.
Correct.
In this case,
it still goes through you.
It still goes through me.
So you lose one unit. One base of the unit, and you get pinned because you got damage. Actually, infantry gets pinned even if the hit is successful and it's saved because it's infantry.
Keep your head down. Nobody wants to be shot off.
Exactly. While a tank, until it's actually damaged, it doesn't get pinned. But that's it for it. So I moved this one, and I'm going to move these droids. So droids are not particularly fast. They move only 2 distant units, and I can do 2 actions of movement. However, the second action of movement always is 1 distance unit shorter. So this means that if I move wrong button. If I move, I can move 6. And then I can try to run another, I can try to run another 3. This puts me in a very bad spot because I'm in the open and I'm not in contact with the objective. In order to control an objective, the only way to go is to be in contact with it. If you're infantry, at the end of the turn, if you're not pinned and in contact with it, you're controlling it, unless an opponent is within 1du from the objective. If you are a vehicle or a mech, you must spend an action to actually control it. And if you want to contest it, so basically I'm there and you're within 1du, if you're infantry, it's free. If you're a mech, it's free. If you're a vehicle, again, you need to put someone out of the vehicle, so you need an action for that. So I'm going to move the other 2, and they're going to be behind that. It's fine. You don't need overly precise measurement of that. So my units right now are basically inside the stores of this building, waiting for someone to get inside, to try and get the objective. They are within 1 distance unit. So if you don't pin them somehow, which you totally could pin them, but if you don't, they're going to prevent you from getting the objective. And that's my turn.
That's your turn done, dusted. Right.
Oh, sorry. Just last thing. I will tap both the Xeno and the battle droids because they moved.
Alrighty. Then you know who's gone and who hasn't. Right. With a pinned unit then, is there a way to unpin in your own turn?
Yeah. So when you activate, the first action you must do if you're pinned is unpin. Simple as that. The only problem is if you're pinned, you cannot give commands. So you might want to activate the tank or the transport and not the units. Also, the units they have no command. So that would be useful. But yeah, basically, if you're pinned, the only thing you can do is unpin. And even if you're moving and maybe someone shoot at you as a reaction and then you get pinned, the next action cannot be movement. They have to be unpinned. So they will be sitting ducks in the middle of the open field.
Okay. Right. So because I would, if I go ahead and spend a dice and unpin this troop unit.
So are you what are you activating right now?
So activating the troops.
Okay. It might be more convenient to activate one of the vehicles because they have command. So by activating them, you also activate the unit. So you're paying only 1 die and you activate both.
Oh, okay. So the troop carrier could activate.
For instance, yes. Exactly.
And then it would get to activate the unit as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
So the first thing it's going to do is activate the troop carrier. So you do the 2 actions of the troop carrier, and then the unit is going to do 2 actions. The first one is going to must be unpin.
Okay. So troop carrier has a move of 3du.
It can move up to 3du. It can be a broken line of any kind. And so one concept I haven't put out yet is close combat. So I like the idea of Epic of having close combat where things don't work the way they work usually because everything is messy. But I made it a bit simpler and maybe less deep. Every combat that is within one distance unit. So if you're shooting it, at this Xeno from short range, then suddenly cover don't apply, plus any kind of, you don't have to be in contact, like within one distance unit is fine, but the armor of the Xeno is reduced, and of any vehicle and any unit. So sometimes you want to get in close combat, then everything gets messy for both sides. But since the Xeno already moved, I cannot shoot at you as a reaction while you're moving. So that's actually not bad. I don't know. It's just
so in that case, that would put you under one distance unit away.
So one distance unit is 3 inches. So you should get.
So it'll be 2 away then. So I'd need to move a second.
No, you can move 3, which means 9 inches.
Yeah. Okay.
So with one movement, you can get basically here if you want.
Let's give that a go.
So your first action is to move.
Brings him up close.
Very well. And then your second action might be to shoot. So to shoot, you need a 4 to a 6. So ideally, you should put your dice on the cards of any card before starting the activation.
Before starting to
now
shift
just
and move.
just put it, of course. I'm just saying, like, for future turns. That's it.
Grant.
Very well. So you are shooting with 3d6. It's basically the same weapon I have, just a bit lower range. And so you can just roll 3d6 towards me. I am a bit behind the building, but I would say it's not a cover. It's just a little bit behind. So I would not consider that. And you definitely don't hit with those 2 ones. So the Xeno has a 4+ of defense. So you hit me with a 5. And I roll 2d10 as a defense. 2d10, actually d10 2, means that I roll 2 dice and choose the highest one. However, since you're in close combat, as I mentioned before, I cannot use this advantage. So if I get in close combat, I remove one of these. So if I had to roll 3, I would actually still roll 2. But this case, since I only roll 2, now I roll only 1 die. And I have to do 5+. And I got it. It's a 10. So nothing happened. The bullet ricocheted and chink.
But it looks so good.
Now.
So the infantry then?
Yes. It gets unpinned, first thing.
Yes. And then they too can move?
They have movement too. So 6 inches up to.
Okay. So I'm going to move up to here.
Okay. Let's say that they both are behind the cover, which makes sense. Yeah, these models are like Tabletop Simulator can be picky on models, but yeah.
It's picky on me, certainly.
You can rotate with E and Q if you want, by the way.
Oh, we'll give that a go then. Oop.
Very well.
And so just up against the wall there, keeping an eye on you.
Yep.
Second activation's lost because they had to unpin.
Correct.
So
it's my turn
then.
again.
Yeah.
You should just tap the transport and the infantryman.
Yep.
To tap the E, you just press once E. It's okay. Yeah, it's all good.
And do you need to lose the dice off to?
Yeah, that's why I only just usually click very gently E, just because sometimes there are dice remaining on. In this case, yeah, you removed it. Of course, that's
all right.
Fine. Okay, so we did this side. So I think I am going to I'm going to put some dice on some stuff just because it really doesn't hurt to. but we're not going to do much reaction this turn. So I'm just going to put... I'm going to save a lot of dice this turn, I think. I think that these battle droids are going to just move, and this Xeno is just going to move. I'm not going to do much. So I'm not going to put any die on anything right now, because I feel like, anyways, reactions are not convenient from where I am. I'm ways too hidden. I'm just going to use a 5, because why not, to activate the Xeno and activate the infantry together. So the Xeno is just going to move here. It's going to be like 3 distance units to get there, and it's just going to be here in a way that is very much hidden from anything coming to it, unless it's moving like here or something. Otherwise, it's pretty hidden. Okay, don't fall. Very well. And then I'm going to move these. So I'm going to move these droids, which I realized are facing the wrong direction. Nice.
They're moonwalking into combat.
I mean, they're droids. They don't need to look forward. They can just walk backward. It's fine. So I can do all the way around, or I can jump over the fence. Jumping over the fence costs me 1 distance unit. So since I'm moving them, they have 2 of movement, and I'm moving them a second time with another 1. I can move them past this, and then 2 distance units, which means here, which means not here, which means if I want here. I'm going to put them here. So I don't need to measure the others because I have quite a lot of margin, but they're going to be basically 1. Okay, let's put them a bit more inside the building because there is no clipping in this game. Well, not in this game, just in this engine. Okay. So I moved my battle droids. I moved the other Xeno. I just have the Socrates and a lot of dice to use. Your turn.
Yeah, the lot of dice is the...
Also, I'm very silly because I totally forgot to use my character. So next turn I will.
Don't feel you have to. If you want to give me, a bit of a hand, then that's fine.
No.
So I could, in this case, then go for my tank commander, perhaps this turn. But then that would give your Socrates all the fun and games. So I think I'm actually going to go with
You're pretty hit, unless you run in the center. Even there, like these houses are lost blocking, we decided. Yeah. So I cannot see you, basically. I should have put it in a better way. I was way too cautious.
Don't worry. You'll be able to see me fairly shortly. That's probably why I'm not going to do it right now. We'll go with the troop carrier.
Very well.
Let me see.
So the troop carrier has command 1, so it can activate 1 other vehicle if you want.
Yep.
So ideally, you might want to move. You could activate the tank commander and activate the other 2 units with it. So you finish your round entirely with this. But you're right. Then I'm going to move my Socrates and try to hit you. Well,
you're quite all right.
Big, really.
I'm okay. I appreciate what you're saying there, but no, you're not allowed.
That's very good.
Okay. I'm going to go for the troop carrier. So I'll spend the dice to activate that.
Very well.
And if I want to deploy the infantrymen off the back of that, that will be one of their actions.
Correct. So you can move 3 forward and then deploy. And then the units inside are going to be activated immediately because they're deployed. And they do the activation minus 1 action because they're unloading or they're being deployed. So you might actually get to touch the objective, which is really good because it means that you can actually get points this turn.
Okay.
I definitely don't.
I'm going to pop one on the light MG there on the troop carrier as well. So troop carrier's got a 3DU move, so 9 inches. So let me see.
Yeah, you can easily get here.
So come straight down Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can pop off a shot.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
The units appear in contact with the vehicle.
Just seeing whether or not I had the range to suppress, but I'm not. I'm too far away to suppress your battle droids behind that line. So we'll just have to live with deploying the troops instead.
Yep.
And they have to deploy touching.
They have to deploy into contact, yes. And then they can do one action. So I would say that the most reasonable action is to jump in the center. I forgot to say these antennas provide cover because it's like a terrain object. So it's good to be there, like gives you cover. Of course, you're a bit easy to hit because you're close to everyone, but this guy is already activated this turn. So you're going to get the objective and I'm not going to get any.
So they'll move up. And embed themselves around this. Come on. There we go. Swarming forward over the antenna.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I think that's probably going to be me. Yep. Riflemen have got a 2DU range as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. You move that, you move the troop carrier, and you still have the MG, which means that MG next turn you can react. That's really good. So I am in a bit of a pickle now because I have two options. I could decide to jump here with this. I can jump with this one too. And I have the dice for that. But then you still activate two tanks. And I'm going to get
2 tanks, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get hit very badly. That's not nice. Actually, I have three options. The second option is I can try to jump somewhere here and try to hit these guys. So they're not easy to hit. I will waste a lot of dice, but if I do that, you will not control this objective, which is nice. Or I could just pass and have you move and then I move. However, if I pass and you decide to pass as well, the turn ends. The round ends.
Right.
So if that happens,
risk reward there.
Yeah, that would be great for you because your tanks are here, but you got the objective plus everything ready, and I didn't move my Xenon either. So I think I'm gonna play it sort of safe because you can totally get this objective if you want to. But if you want, you could actually hit me and get the objective. So that's not fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a... Oh, damn it. Yeah. I'm not going to jump. The Socrates has this very nice and powerful rocket pods. They cost 2 activation dice. Oh, that was a 1, sorry. That costs 2 activation dice. And okay, this is getting messy. And they throw twice 2d8 to someone and ignores cover. So this means that it's very convenient to use it against like these guys. Of course, I have to do something else because I have to move or something. So I'm going to use a 6, which is a bit of a waste just to activate. That's a 6. Doesn't matter, but still. Just to activate the poor Socrates, which goes here.
Okay.
Not very fast. And then I'm going to shoot the guys. There are 3DUs within, so I can use my rocket pods happily. And I ignore cover. So I'm going to throw basically 4 D8s at them. Actually, I am going to use 1 to them and 1 to this guy. Just because. Since it's 2 different rockets, I can actually target 2 different
units.
Split
the fire,
yeah. Otherwise, I would have written 4 D8s. So D8 is not super powerful, but since it ignores cover, I hit you at 4+. And as we've seen before, if I hit you, even if you save, you're pinned and you don't get the objective, and I'm happy. So
it's all right. I have faith you'll miss.
Yeah, let's try. And I hit. Okay, that looked at a 1. It's a 7. I like it. So I hit you with a 7. You cannot save it.
Can't save that, no.
Yeah, so you just remove 1 and it's pinned.
Okay.
So you don't get to get the objective. And it was a bit of a gamble because if I did like a 4, a 3, like a 3, I would have missed you. And this one is going to hit this one. It's outside the range, so I get a -1. I don't remember your transport, what it's 4+. So I hit you at 5+ with 2 of these guys. And it's going to be a 6 and a 1. So I hit you with a 6. Your transport has...
got defense of 4+.
4, but what is the save?
Oh, the save is 2d10.
2d10. So my rockets are armor piercing 1. which means I remove one die. So you still roll 1d10, and you must do 6+.
Do this. Ooh.
Is that a 6?
That is a 6.
Okay.
Barely.
So no damage for this turn. Looks like, well, it's your turn, so now you're going to do damage for sure.
Just letting it all bounce off.
So I moved my last one. I used the 2 dice for this. I also used the jump of this one, which I should have moved before. My apologies. And I'm done. I activated whatever I had.
Okay, so I could activate my tank commander.
Yes.
Which would also let me activate the main battle tank beside him then.
That is correct. As a note, just keep in mind that if you don't, but you will have next turn support cards, like direct command or support drones, you can actually do that as an activation. So you could do, I use support drones, then it's my turn, then you do something else. Or in this case, you would do everything because I run out of options.
Okay.
Sorry, just a quick note.
So in this case, my commander will activate his ability then.
Okay.
So that will
last die.
That. And then my main battle tank can move 3DU, and he's got a 3DU shot with his cannon as well. So you don't have any die to use the ability of the tank commander, right? I had one on there. I just popped it on, popped it off when I activated.
Okay. In this case, however, you don't have dice to activate the unit.
Oh, okay. So
let's say
so it's either or.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like this is a slot for an ability, so you might need one. So let's say that you didn't put the die on the tank commander or on one of the tanks, whatever.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Since you put the troop carrier MG just at the very last minute, if you want, you can just put that one back. I don't know.
Oh no, I think do it and be damned. I think is the case here. So I'm quite content. I'll just spend the one to activate my my tank commander itself.
Okay, just for the sake of the game flow.
Yeah. Well, it's a learning experience this way then.
Absolutely.
So I can move 3DU, and the little fence.
So if you cross it, it's one. Yeah, you just lose 1 DU if you cross it.
Okay.
Or you can go around and you can still move a bit forward. Like you can go over your miniatures. You just don't want to stop on top of them.
Okay.
So you can totally go like here. It's okay.
So 6 would get me to there.
Any approximation is fine.
And then
F to flip. I've been there.
And our survey says
check for any update in the internet.
And then our survey says, so that Socrates is in range.
Yeah. You should not be able to see it because my models are cover, as in you can only target.
So I can target the battle droids, but then I can't shoot past them to the Socrates. So in that case.
That is correct.
And what about my own models? Would they block?
Your models are fine. The idea is not that those models are actually blocking the site, but that they are an easier target. So you can shoot everything else, but not something that is behind those models.
Okay.
Just like that was our compromise.
So my choices here, I could either shoot the battle droids in front of me, or I could shoot this mech off to the left. I think I'll give the mech the good news.
Definitely.
So my battle tank's main cannon is 2d8.
Yeah.
And
it has armor piercing 2, whatever, if it's useful. Very well.
So.
Oh, yeah. I can. Okay, perfect.
One of these. And our survey says.
It's a 7 and a 2. So I am in cover. So I get +1. So I get hit a 5+, which really doesn't affect this case. So I get hit with a 7. Since it's armor piercing 2, my Xeno, which really doesn't matter much. I have to counter a 7 with my D10. And I do a 3. So I'm hit.
Good.
Now, the way damage works is like this. So this is my Xeno. Oh, sorry. I'm going to leave it there. Sorry. This is my Xeno. I roll a die. It's always a D6, at least for now. And I roll a 1. The effect of the 1, sadly, it's dead.
Oh. That was exceptional.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Depending on the vehicle, like if you look at your transport troops, they have a 1 to 3 effect, which is dead. However, a main battle tank, which still has a tiny chance of being killed at the first hit, it has other 3 different slots. So yellow slots mean that if they get hit twice, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
So ideally, you can have 6 slots, all yellow and all divided. So you need to roll the same number twice over the game to kill them. And that's how we track health points. So we never have the thing where, I still have 20 health points, I cannot die. There is always some chance of dying. Maybe not the first hit, but from the second, there is always some chance of dying. But if you have a very dispersed one, it's really hard. It really takes a few lucky shots, not just one. So my Xeno's dead. Nice.
I'm counting that as a moral victory, no matter what else happens in this game.
Yeah. Xeno must die. Simple as that. I'm going to remove the card just to make it simpler. And very well. And now it's turn to activate the other tank.
Well, no, because I decided since I'd only had the one activation left, I would just use that to be the activation.
Yeah, but you have command 1, so you can activate a second unit.
Yeah, but I didn't have the dice to spend on that, so I just I used the dice to activate the commander, not the ability. So those other dice are just left sitting on there. So I've got 2 prepped battle cannons.
All right,
no dice to activate them.
Sounds like a fair balancing punishment.
Yeah. It'll teach me for not doing it properly.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good for me. So the first turn has ended.
Yes.
The last thing to do is to untap the units and apply and add any remaining die on them. So I have 2 dice. I'm going to put one on the cannon of the Socrates, and I'm going to put one on the Xeno punchy thing, just because I want to put them somewhere.
I don't have any dice.
You don't have any. That's correct.
I went big. Go big or go home, as they say.
Yeah,
so.
Clearly it worked. So
well, I've plenty of dice pre-prepped there. With those dice that I already have on, is there the opportunity to lift them up if it was something that you didn't want? Because obviously it's reducing your pull from the next time. Okay.
That is correct. You can lift them up now, or you leave them there. Of course, the reason why there are only 12 of these dice is that you have more than 4 on your cards. Yeah. You will not roll 8 of them. That's all.
Well, that's flipped itself over.
For both of us, we're good now. So this is the end of the round. You didn't get any objective. I didn't get any objective. So nobody draws cards, and nobody's controlling more than the opponent. So nobody draws cards again.
Okay.
So this is the end of turn 1. And, well, we can start round 2.
Okay.
So we're back to round 2. Mm-hmm. First, we roll full initiative, always using the highest among the troops in-game.
Okay.
So I do mine, and it's a 5. It's the same of before. None of us lost or got our units pinned, the one with higher initiative. So, okay, I start again. So the first thing that happens is that we get the first wave. So I get an extra Xeno to deploy at the end. Like, it's one action can be, instead of activating a unit, I can just deploy a unit, which means I put the unit down and I do one action. It doesn't cost me any dice.
Okay.
And then I get the Sentient AI too. So I have 2 characters now. In your case, you get a very cool self-propelled gun. It requires one action just to deploy. So you can just, to set up. So you can deploy it and then set up it, and that's the end for this turn. Or you can deploy it, move it, and then next turn you set up and shoot.
Set up and shoot, okay.
It's all good. And then you get 2 support cards. This one doesn't have support written down. That's silly, but both of them are. So direct command just unpins one unit. So instead of just activating the unit and unpinning, you just use one activation just to unpin, and it can be useful. And spotter drones allow, within a small area, diameter of 2 DU, to consider everything that is in cover as not in cover, because you saw where they are.
That's frisky, isn't it?
That's convenient, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what you have, and I have AIs. This turn, I'm going to do what I forgot to do last turn, which is providing AIs to my units. So I have 2 AIs. One gives me 1 extra action per turn. And I'm going to give it, guess what? To the Socrates, because it's loaded. It has multiple weapons. I want to jump around, shoot more, or jump back, or not. I cannot jump twice. Actions can be done only once per turn, but I can move back or something. And then I have Ascension die, which allows me to activate without using the dice, and I can react better because I get the reactive ability, which means I can actually react with both my actions. And I'm definitely gonna get that and give it to my Xeno, which means that whatever you do, I can actually move and do stuff as well.
Okay. Well, I can't say we're at home to that, but there's not much I can do about it. Well, I'll just have to suffer.
Well, you can shoot with something else. You can pin me. Like there are many ways. I'm just saying that now, if you shoot at me, I will actually, even if I'm not the one moving first, I will be moving too, which is nice. And then you shoot me too. So both are being damaged. That's it. What else do we have? Well, that's it. We can start by rolling our 8 dice. As I mentioned before, we only get to roll 8 dice. Even if we don't have enough, we just roll what we have. But now we both have more than 8, so we're good. And just like last turn, we might want to reroll as many as we want. In this case, I'm going to reroll quite a few because I got way too many 6s.
That's not something I have ever said.
I know. That's why I said it, actually.
Right.
Okay, I'm a bit under. I don't have many good dice at this point, but it's okay.
So that would
these
work.
Are mine.
That could work for him as well.
You did reroll too, right?
Oh, I've not rerolled any yet, but I'm about to.
Okay. Definitely.
There are so many bad dice in there.
Yeah, it's fine even to reroll all of them if you want.
Oh,
Considering that if you're rerolling 8 of them, the chances of having another one is very high. So maybe you can even do that. But it's really
I think I'm just going to go ahead and reroll these 3. The 4s at least are useful for something.
Yeah. Well, you got lucky. You got 2 6s. You can use them for useful stuff.
Yeah. Well, most of my cannons are already preloaded, so it's not as bad.
That is a very good point, actually. You're absolutely right. Very well. What else comes here? Well, nothing else. We can totally start. Just as before, if you want, you can load stuff before the beginning of the alternating turns. I feel like everything is already loaded, so I don't know if you need it, but still.
We're a 4. There we go. Back to 4. No, I don't think I'll do anything with anyone. That was actually a 4 as well.
So I think I'm going to place a few dice on units because why not? But then I'm going to start, it's pretty hard to place dice properly here. I'm sorry. Maybe if I do this.
That's why miniatures are much better.
Okay, that was a 2. That was not a 4. Yeah, it's a lot easier. But at least we got the real miniatures here, which is nice. Took me a while to make it work, but I'm happy I did.
Oh, worth it.
So I did put a few dice there. Battle droids don't need any. Battle droids don't need any. But I'm going to actually start by deploying the Xeno. This cost me no dice.
Okay.
I put it here. The only rules for deploying is that you must deploy within one allowed area, which in this case is just this. But if I controlled one of the antennas, I could use that area too. And you must be within 3 distance unit between away from any enemy that is not pinned. So I must be away more distance than 9. This is 10, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're fine then.
I am appearing here, and that was very stupid of me. I'm really sorry. I'm appearing here, and I'm just gonna move them. The guy, just gonna move the guy here. And that's it for the turn. Okay. Yours.
Over to me. Decisions. Let's have a look at my self-propelled gun. So when it finally deploys, it has a 3 to 6 DU cannon on it.
Yep.
So he needs to be tucked back somewhere where he's got good lanes of fire. Is that what you're telling me?
Sorry?
He really needs to be somewhere where he's got good lanes of fire, but also not so close that people come under his range.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually extremely powerful if this was not a skirmish.
Yeah.
But
I think he may stay off board until the very, very end, because I think if he deploys now, somebody's just going to shoot him off before he gets set up.
Absolutely. Also, consider you don't even need to deploy it this turn if you want to. You can even keep it for later. I don't know if it's convenient. Probably it isn't, but just saying.
Right, we're currently not pinned over there with those infantry. I think my infantrymen may
I'm gonna eat some bread. Because I found it next to me, there is no reason not to.
I'm going to
It is good.
Spend one of these to activate my infantry, and I will pop one of those on there. So this 2-man unit of infantry, or 2-stand unit, I suppose. They are 2 DU move normally, so that'll be down to 1 DU if they go across the.
Yep, it's 1 DU after going across, so it's a bit more than 1 DU, but yeah.
So then at that point, is it worth just going sort of to there and there? I think going round the obstacle,
yeah, absolutely,
gets them up to about here instead.
So you're not in contact with the objective.
No,
you can contest it, but you can, and you're not in cover, so you're sitting ducks.
That's currently the
goal.
It's not the goal, but it's currently the state of play, unfortunately. And then I'm going to try some rifle shots to try and pin your battle droids.
Very well. You hit me at 6 because you are not within 1 distance unit, and I'm in cover.
Yep. But 1 dice per stand, so 2d6.
Correct.
Needing 6s. Try this.
Nope.
Oh, swing and a miss.
Yeah, I'm safe.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's what they tell me.
And in any case, that unit is half damaged already and now is attracting fire, which means that I have to shoot it instead of shooting something else. That's not too bad.
Okay.
Very well.
Back to you.
So this thing is loaded, right?
That troop carrier.
Is this troop carrier or is it this troop carrier?
No, it's the unused troop carrier, yeah.
So your troop carrier is actually not in any situation of react. I would love to get on the back of it by moving, but I cannot do it for 2 reasons. First, because there is an area of influence. I cannot just move around your troops. I need to, unless they're pinned, I need to do the long round around it if I want to get back. Plus, there is a tank here waiting for me to move.
And he is ready and waiting and primed. Yeah.
But I feel like if I get here and attack you on the front, you're not going to see me.
You're quite correct, yeah.
And the other tanks are very far. So all I'm going to do with this one is so this AI doesn't require dice to activate. Just going to move forward and punch it. So this unit has one weapon, which is in contact only. Well, I mean, it's supposed. Let's say this is in contact, otherwise it's going to be flipped upside down. And it's quite powerful. It works only in contact, so it's quite limiting. But I'm going to do that. So the Xeno's there. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Just wanted to take the die. The die is used. And the Xeno is going to punch you. It's going to do, what is it?
2d10.
I don't see you. I don't see you because you're, okay, 2d10. I'm going to punch you like that.
Yeah. Feel free not to, but my defense is 4.
It's a 9.
So, well, that's definitely a hit.
9 goes in, and you have the 10 to parry.
Just a single because of AP?
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's both AP and close combat. So, yeah. Well, close enough. You got hit.
Yes.
So your troop carrier has basically a 50% chance of dying at the first hit because 1 to 3. But it's absolutely not a given. So
just have a quick look.
I'm going to erase it and put it back.
And 4.
It's actually safe.
It's fine. It takes 1 damage to its move. Yeah.
So the way we track damages is you move it away from the infantry because it's not in there. You leave 1 marker here to mark that this lot is done. So next time it's hit, basically 1 to 5, it's dead.
That's not great odds, it has to be said, but I'll take it.
It is basically smoking. And then I leave 1 marker here to mark that it's actually pinned. Simple as that.
Okay.
I did my action. I didn't have anyone else within range, except for this one, actually. I could have activated this one. Do they want to activate this one? No, I don't. So I'm good.
Really?
I'm
Shame.
good.
You don't know what you're missing.
I don't miss. That's the point.
Right. Okay. Right. I do think so my infantry NCO with his command ability and unpin all the infantry units within 2DU.
Yep.
Would that let them then have both activations as normal?
That's correct.
So I'm going to pop 1 onto my infantry.
An example of what I was saying about having different play styles. If you play an infantry heavy army here, you could actually have a pretty powerful chain of command. The special ability of the enlisted is that if you activate something with command 3, which activates something with command 2, that something can activate something with command 1. So you can actually have a big commander activating commanders, and you can have a big blob of infantry moving around, and then everything gets unpinned with just 1/1 because it's all the units within 2DU. It's not the play style I like, but I really wanted to have that too because I feel like people are going to play Imperial Guard. So at that point, let's give them some option to play like that. Also, it can be very fun if you want to play something more World War I-esque.
Yeah, it gives that combined arms feel.
Yep.
So if I spend a die to activate my troop carrier there, who has command 1.
Which one? Sorry?
So
you pointed. Okay, so sorry.
If I activate this with command 1, then he could command the infantry with the attached NCO, and then the NCO can use his ability to remove the pin.
Absolutely. You just need to spend 1 die, that's all.
Yeah.
Which you already put in. So that's
perfect. So 1 die spent to activate them.
The other option would have been to use the direct command, but that will make me act first because that's 1 action, 1 activation. This one, I mean.
Oh, yes.
Just saying. But the one you're doing is probably much better.
Yeah, we'll stick with this. I think I know where I'm going, so we'll give it a go. That's
perfect. Yeah.
So the light MG, I think, was out of range last time. Just slightly.
It is.
Yeah.
Unless you use spotter drones to remove the cover, it is.
So.
But if you want to use it, then it's my turn first.
No, you're quite all right. Because I imagine I'll just end up being pinned again. So if I move for his first, don't even need to move the full, just go to there. Leave that on them.
Yep. That's all
and then he will spend the dice to use his MGs.
Very well.
On the troop carrier. So that's 3d6 within 2 distant units.
That's perfect. You get it within 2 distant units, but you hit at 6 because they're in cover.
Yep.
Infantry is usually pretty solid against light weaponry when in cover. While in the open, they're dead.
Our survey says, "Oh,
nope, that's sad." That's pretty bad luck.
Well, it's par for the course for myself.
Yeah.
So then he will activate the infantry NCO to unpin that unit. Oop. And they could and probably will
shoot.
That's
good.
The infantry NCO, the infantry are 1d6 per base to 2 DU. So
one thing you could do if you want is use the grenade.
I didn't prep them with a grenade.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because grenade is ignores cover. So
but it's only 1 DU, and I don't want to leave the protection of my lovely
you don't need
antenna.
to, because you can just roll it with 1 extra. You hit at 5+ instead of 4+. Because you have the +1, but you don't have cover. So that could have been an option, but that's perfectly fine.
We'll see next turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
For this turn, though,
nope.
Getting better.
At least do a 4+. It doesn't help, but at least it saves the
at least I can think I was close.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's me done there. Yep.
Okay. So tap whatever you activated.
Yes.
So yeah, reacting didn't really help here. So I'm good as I am. So this tank. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I didn't want to move it. I just wanted to point it. This tank hasn't activated yet.
No.
But I feel like it is time for a charge. So I'm going to activate these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They have, they have no command, which is pretty bad. But I just saved the die before, so I'm going to use one now. I'm going to use this 3, and which became a 2, but it was a 3. And I'm going to activate these guys, and I'm going to charge. So the first thing is I'm going to first move them on the other side of this thing. And then I'm going to move them 3. So they end up in contact. No, that's not in contact. Damn it, isn't it? Well, it's not, but neither you will.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do here, and you might want, if you want, to counter me with the tank.
I would love to counter your charging battle droids with a tank.
So I am moving. First, I am more distant than 1, and you can use the cannon if you want, or you can wait a bit more. It's up to you, and use the MG, which saves you the die, and shoot me while I'm getting closer.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the. Well, we've seen my dice rolling. I think I need as many dice as possible, so I'll go with the light machine guns.
Very well. So you hit 3d6, and you hit at 4+ because I'm running in the open.
You say I hit on 4+, but
yeah, you did 1.
I see.
So my infantry is a bit stronger than yours. It costs 3 points instead of 2, but it has 1d8 of save, so it might actually survive it. But I'm pinned anyways, so it doesn't really change. 6, I'm safe. I'm not killed, but I'm pinned. Being pinned, I have a second action, and it must be unpin.
It's unpin.
So I'm there. But this activated, this activated, this activated. So I'm sort of happy.
Yeah.
You have this one? Yeah, sure. But I'm happy. Your turn.
Just bear with me. So with the main battle tank activating with the MGs, do I still need to spend an activation dice from my pool?
You needed 1 activation die for everything, like just 1. I used a 3. It's okay.
Okie dokie. Right. It still feels like an awful lot hasn't gone over there yet. Socrates isn't
menacing, huh?
You know, those droids are just dug in like ticks on a dog. Right. I will I think. None of this is. I don't like any of my options here. I have a lot of options and none of them are good. That could be good though.
That's the spirit.
That could be good. So my actually, that's not that tank. That's my tank commander. Is the one further forward who's blasting away at you.
Mm-hmm.
So this tank at the back still hasn't activated yet.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, I will activate. And he is just going to go to there. And that gives him a lovely shot into the side of your Xenos there.
It does.
So we'll try that.
There's actually quite a nice space between the buildings. Now, that's a good thing of Tabletop Simulator. You can actually get like shoulder view of
you can see where people are going and what they're up to. So of a 3DU range, which so I'm going to be outside of.
This is like, long range. It's okay. Yep. You just get a -1.
So spend that to get my 2D8.
Yeah.
And your defense?
My defense is 4+, which becomes 5+ because of the distance.
Let's see whether or not I can actually hit something. Your team?
To be fair, you already killed one of my Xenos.
Did, yeah. That was the high watermark of this game for me. I was quite happy with that. So yeah, 1 hit on a 6.
That's fair. My Xeno has D10, only 1 because it's armor piercing.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a
7.
I'm saved. One thing I get a lot from players is that there is the whole thing of armor rolling more dice, and then you don't actually get to roll many times more than 1 die. And that's true, but that's because people are using the right weapon for the right target.
Yeah, you've got a sliding scale of die that you can sort of get on side to hit what you need to hit. So that's my main battle tank done. So back to yourself.
That's that's fine. So the battle droids have activated too. Sorry, this Xeno didn't activate. The battle droids did. This Xeno is here. That's why it was confusing. And this activated, yes. So I still have the battle droids and the Socrates. So since you don't have anything going on here, I'm just gonna go with the battle droids. I'm gonna shoot, and then I'm gonna move. Probably, we'll see. First, I'm gonna shoot. So I don't need anything other than let's use a 4 here, a 3. It's even worse. And I'm gonna shoot with 3d6 of the battle droids. You are not in cover, so I can hit you at 4, and I got a 6.
Oh,
so you save with a 6. With a D6, and you have to do 6.
I will try my best.
Absolutely. Well, that was your best.
That was my best.
Not the best.
As Homer said, you've tried your best and failed. The lesson is never try.
And I'm just going to move the guys here. They're all 3 in contact with the objective. So I'm pretty solid here. You can try to pin me. Otherwise, I'm good. So that's my action. I still have the Socrates to activate later, and that's it. So to you. Well, I still have cars if I want to. I don't need them.
Oh, it must be nice. It must be nice not to need them. I am going to activate my other main battle tank.
That's good.
So go. You can test if you're inside the circle.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know. It's really not a problem.
And then
just No one knows.
You're within 2DU. So I think I'll give you 2. Yeah, I'll give you the battle cannon from him, considering
And
your armor's a bit friskier.
Good. Yeah, chances are slightly on my favor, I'd say, because you can only hit with 7 or 8. So no, sorry, 6 plus. So that's okay. We'll see. And you got me once.
1.
That's bad because I'm pinned. And let's see if I actually can save. I need a lucky roll with a D8, which is gonna be nope, not lucky, not lucky at all. So I lost 1 unit. I'm pinned.
That's good. Fair exchange.
Nobody's getting objectives this turn.
No.
Last match I did, I got like 3 objectives basically in 2 turns. I had 4 cards at the end of the second turn. Now I have 0.
everybody's running to those flanking objectives and just falling down dead around them.
Indeed,
and wisely,
exactly.
People have stayed away from the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Because it sounds like that thing.
It's terrible.
What do you have? What else do you have that is not activated yet?
The only thing I currently have that could activate is my self-propelled gun that's off table. And,
what about the troop carrier?
The troop carrier who's pinned against your Xenos. I think he's going to remain pinned against your Xenos this turn.
That's okay.
I'll wait to see what you do. But
deploying does not require a die.
Oh, it doesn't require a die. Oh, no. In that case, I've got a troop carrier who's pinned on the
very well
self-propelled.
So I have options because I have to activate my Socrates clearly, and I have plenty of dice in it. But I can run here and try to kill your tank. That would be sweet because it's very expensive. But I could actually also try to get the objective. So if I get here, I have 3 actions because the pilot AI gives me 1 extra action. I could actually move here with 1 jump and shoot and take the objective, which would be nice. The problem is then I'm a sitting duck too, so not super fun. So I'm going to go for the fun one. I'm going to go for the fun. So I'm going to move here. So my jump is going to bring me here. Sorry. Let me just check if I can use the rockets. Yes, I can. So rockets don't have a minimum distance, while I don't know what's happening. Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, let's say it's fine. Yeah, actually, maybe that's good. So the way vehicles have flanks, thing that mechs don't have, is that if I hit you from behind, you get a die of a lower category when saving.
All right. Okay.
Just the same of being damaged in the armor. So I'm here. I cannot punch you, but I can rocket you. And also I can try to shoot you. I still have 2 actions. Oh, sorry. I didn't put the dice on everything. So, oh, lovely. I don't have the jump. Sorry. I'm going to cancel this. Scratch that.
Oh, no.
It doesn't change much really, but I'm going to actually, my movement is 6. I'm going to actually get here and do the same from the front. It's a bit less fun. So the front is going to be one rocket to this and 1 rocket to this, because
sharing the love.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. It's always fun. So it's going to be 2d8, 2d8. I'm going to start with the light one. Hopefully it's going to... Is this one the one smoking? No, it's the other one.
No, it's the other one.
So this one is going to be a 6 and a 5. Both are hits.
Both are
and
hits,
both are paired with a D10.
D10 save.
So you roll 1 at a time, because one is a 6 and one is a 5. You call for 1, roll for it, call for the other, roll for it.
So for the 5, a 3, typical. And for the 6, a 4.
Yes.
A 4.
Oh, that's good. You're good.
I am very good at this. Yeah. I
you
know
can
how
roll
dice like me.
You can roll 2d6 for the damages. It's not likely that it survives, but yeah, it doesn't.
A 1 and a 3, So dead from the first and very dead from the second.
Is very much dead. And the second one goes to the big tank. The big tank is fairly robust. And I hit with a 9, No, a 6 and a 6. Both are hits. Both are easy to parry.
That's my tank commander as well. I'd like to point out that you're attacking.
So the rocket, however, the rocket has only armor piercing 1. So you roll 2 d10 for each.
2 d10. Okay. Well, that's slightly better. We'll take that. So come back here.
So both are 6s.
Both are 6s, yeah.
Go for 1. 8. Good.
Oh, double 8s, huh? Now I get them. And for the second, double 1s. Nope, double 9s. Where have they been all my life?
That's
Where have these
remarkable.
high numbers been living?
So I'm gonna double the dose, and I'm gonna use I use the rocket pods, but since I have the third action because of the pilot AI, I'm gonna use a cannon. It's just armor piercing 2 d8s.
Okay.
It's a 5 and a 5, but this time you roll only 1 die each. You can roll them together since they're both 5 if you want.
Well, no, we'll do them one at a time, just so we can see me feel. So for the first one, 4.
That's an in.
Typical. And for the second one,
lovely.
1. Yeah. Okay, so both get through. Something being battle tanks quite heavy, you say?
Yeah. You just don't need to roll a 1.
And into the air we go. Oh, hang on. I want those to... That's nice. That's it. Not just rotating them on the spot.
So you did a 6 and a 3. So it means that your movement is damaged and your armor is lowered. But you're alive.
Yeah.
You have a way higher chance to be killed next time. And you're pinned.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, or 6 will do me. So next time it's just...
it's very likely.
I really need to take a 4 or 5. That's okay. I can live with that. Maybe. Right.
So I'm done. You still have something to do, so you finish yours.
Yeah.
Like your troop carrier can shoot at me. That's actually...
Yeah, I think I will. So spend my...
Oh, the problem is you can't, because you either activate it or put the die on the MG. Haha.
But if I activate it, I can take the pinned off.
Yeah, you totally could. Also, you don't have anything else to do, so...
just deploy my thingy thing, so...
One thing you can actually do, since it moves 3, you can try to go right on my back and try to... You cannot get the objective now. You will be likely get killed, but I mean, you can move it in some convenient positions wherever they are.
That's true. You do have one right at the back doing very little there.
Another option would be just to retreat, like move it away, because at the end of the day, at the end of the game, every 5 points you lost is 1 victory point lost. So I apologize if I say stuff as I go, but
that's all right.
It's okay. So you're just there.
Just there. Just saying,
nice.
Just saying hello.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. You can do whatever you want back there.
If nobody shoots at you, you actually get a point, which is pretty useful. So
and then it'll be back to yourself. Do you have anything left to activate?
Yeah, I don't have anything else, so you can deploy that one.
I could deploy my self-propelled gun.
Correct. Anywhere. And then you can move it because you don't have a die to actually deploy to set up it properly. So set it up properly.
I mean, I don't know if there's much of a difference from...
So do consider that all the walls are not loss blocking.
Yeah.
So some of the areas are actually fairly open for, especially if you use it as a reaction, which makes it even slower, but you can actually shoot at everything within any range ever.
I think I probably want to pop him there. Do I want to pop him there? No. want to pop him there. That seems to be a good place to finish the turn.
And we get the third wave. So I get one more Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
And you do get a fancy new unit. This unit are scouts. Well, actually 2 units. You get walkers. They're basically like lighter versions of the Socrates. They're like the neutral one that everyone can get. They're less specialized. They don't jump, but they're pretty powerful still. And then you have the scouts. Scouts are pretty cool because they have camouflage as an ability, which means that if they're in cover, they cannot be hit by anything which is more distant than 2DU.
Oh, very handy for taking and holding.
Exactly. Plus, the guided missile is a support card that doesn't have a single use, so you can use it every turn. And it shoots a missile from the line of sight of a scout. So you notice I put 2 scouts and 1 guided missile, which means that if I kill the scouts, you still have others. You can still use the missile. The missile come from outside. They're just pointing the laser or something.
Is that a 1 to 3 or is it a 1-3 plus a 4 and 6?
It's a 1 to 3 plus 4 to 6. So you need 2 dice for this. Yeah. It's more expensive than a tank, but then you don't have a tank that you have to move and activate. It's just the hit directly. It's pretty useful.
Okay.
So before starting, I will reassign my AIs. And I will put, because I can reassign it every time. Sorry, this one is on the cannon. I will put the sentient AI to the Socrates. So this one can react in a cool way. So you can try and shoot me, but then I will kill you. Mm-hmm. And the pilot AI, I'm going to give it to the new Socrates, which means then when it deploys, it can do 2 actions instead of 1.
Mm.
And so that's
a bit more
starting
frisky when he comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Well, maybe I'll win initiative this turn.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
So we still have the same control thing. Actually, your commander right now is pinned. So that value doesn't count.
So you cannot NCO then? So
you can
command of 2?
You have command 2. My Socrates is fine, so I still have command 3.
Oh, it's so close. So very close.
It's always by 1. Every time it's just by 1. Perfect. Okay, let's roll the dice. That's 8 dice, as usual. I rolled them. And then I need a lot of lower dice. I need a lot more 1 and 2s. So I'm going to reroll a 5 and a 6 and maybe another 5. I'm going to reroll this 5 dice.
That's an impressive roll.
Yeah. Okay, now it's nice. How's yours?
Magical. Really, really good.
Sorry, this one was a 5, not a 2.
I'll reroll this 3.
I wish it was.
Excellent. Love that. So
very nice. Well, that's a lot of 5, 6s, yeah,
isn't it? I feel like this is going to be my turn.
Yeah,
this is where I bring it in for the big win.
Yes, please.
Right.
Yeah, of course, this turn nobody got any objective because usual.
Still have that on them. Let's allocate that to there. Do you need to allocate the dice to set up the self-propelled as well, or can it be when you're activating it?
You need to do it as an action. So when you activate it, you set up and shoot.
Okay.
Or whatever. But right now, let's say you cannot react because it's not set up.
That's fine then.
So this tank, the main battle tank, cannot react. Mm-hmm. This one cannot react. And this one cannot react. The others can, of course. A frisky thing, to use your words, could be to put 1 die to this one.
Oh, my little trip carrier at the back.
It's useless, but it has a
that.
gun and it can react. So.
Why would anybody go near that?
Well, I have to move this guy sooner or later.
I mean, that would be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Right, I think I'm done.
Very well. I will start by, there's still a mosquito, huh? I will start by. I'm going to try and charge with these guys. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to use them for later. I need them to unpin. So I'm going to do the Xeno thing with this one. So this one has already the fist ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's this one actually. And this one is this one, yeah. And I am going to. Can this one react?
Which one's that?
Right?
Of course. The battle tank, yes. You'll notice he's already sitting there with his cannon loaded.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So, okay, this is actually good. I'm going to move this Xeno, the central one.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, it cannot get in contact with this guy because it's too far.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. But I'm going to move it here in a way that is not visible by this guy. It can be visible by this, though. I'm going to move it here. Sorry, I'm going to put the dice first. I need to put a 2 to the Xeno to jump. And the punch is already there, but whatever. I'm going to put it in a way that it's actually not visible by this guy if it sets up. So it's going to be like here.
Mm-hmm.
But it sees this one. And sorry, no, I need to put it close. I'm going to put it close and I'm going to shoot it in the back. So it's close combat. So you roll 2 dice, not 3. And since it's the back, you roll the 8. But since your armor is damaged, I think it is.
It is, yeah.
Where is it?
Tank commander.
Oh, right. So it was like armor and movement, right? Yep. So you roll a d6 because it's from the back and the armor is damaged. So my chances are not too bad. I'm going to roll my 3 dice. And it's a 6. Just a 6.
So I need a 6 to save.
Correct. Rolling a 6.
Yeah.
Okay. You're hit. Roll for the damage. You can still do 4 or 5 and be okay.
I launched dice into space there, I think.
Okay. You're really much...
4 is not great. But
I mean, it is. You're safe.
Oh, yeah.
But you are very much smoking. That's it.
That's what my commander likes.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I'm happy. Very well. So that's my action. I didn't use the punch. I used the jump, though. So this is spent, and it's yours.
Okay. I feel like my troops are going to go away in a moment. It's kind of how I'm feeling. So it's really a case of which troop is going to go away first. I think... Yep. Let's have a look. I think I might load up these infantrymen with grenades and attack your battle droids here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't know if grenades are useful in that case because my battle droids are not in cover.
Oh, you're not in cover yet?
So you can just shoot at me.
But it is AP1 though.
Yeah, but I have no armor, so I don't get to roll more than 1 die anyways for saving. So.
Oh, in that case. Well, you never know. In that case, I'll just use that dice to activate them to attack then. If there's no point in going heavy-handed with a grenade, just use their rifles instead.
That's correct.
So, 2d6 into your battle droids.
I prepare my d8s. I don't need them. Turns out I don't need them. That's the best kind of feeling. Great. Very well. So this activated too.
It was a beautiful dream.
It was.
There we go.
All right. What I'm going to do now is, so this infantry didn't activate yet, right?
Yours?
Now it's going to activate, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a thing. So I have a railgun and I have a rifle. I'm going to waste a 6 just for the railgun, just because it's there. It's kind of, no, it's not necessary, really. So since this guy's activated already, I'm going to shoot at them. I have 3d6, just like you do.
Mm-hmm.
I hit at 4, just like you did. But I'm lucky. No, I'm not. That was really bad, too. Well, that's it. And then I'm going to move in contact with the thing. Because at least if I get to pin your guys somehow, then I have control.
Yeah,
otherwise, I don't. That's pretty bad otherwise. Well, this one cannot. This one is. I cannot put all 3 of them in cover, which is pretty bad because that means that basically none of them is in cover if you shoot at this one and you deal more than 1 damage. So that's okay. Okay, done. Yours.
Okay.
This is spin. Sorry, moved.
Right. I feel like I'm doing so marvelously well. It's 2 activations to deploy the should we call it the self-propelled gun, the SPG?
Sorry?
To set up the SPG, is it 2?
You need just one action.
Just one action. Okay.
But you need to spend 1 to 3 to set it up. Like you need a die. That's all.
That's fine. I shall.
So you have 2 actions. You can set it up and shoot if you want, for sure.
I will use that nice. To set it up.
Very well.
But will I?
Also, it has command 1, so you might want to move this tank with that too, just to save dice. You're well within range.
Yeah.
Oh, right. It has a minimum.
It has a
range.
minimum. Yeah.
And are you within the minimum?
I'm within the minimum on that.
Oh, you cannot shoot this.
He leapt.
No, you can shoot this one. You can shoot my Socrates.
I can shoot the Socrates.
Yeah. I didn't notice it actually when I moved it there. I could have moved it a bit on the right, but I didn't. So
I'd left them in a position where you could shoot either of them where they started, but then they started leaping around with their jump jets. It was terrible. Very confused and very scared.
That is what they do.
Right. We will take a shot at the Socrates then.
That's going to be painful.
So just outside the 3DU. Self-propelled gun has 3d12 and
How
AP3.
far are you? You're less than 5, right?
Yeah, I'm 14 inches, so 4 DUs away.
Okay. I'm going to react and shoot at you as well.
Oh, counter battery.
So, yeah, basically the rolls are done at the same time. Since there is a highest chance that this is going to be killed, I'm going to react. I shouldn't be able to, but this one is pinned, so I can just go through.
Okay. My defense is 3+.
Oh, yeah. You roll first. It's fine.
Okay.
One at a time. It's okay.
So 3d12.
Yeah, that's going to be very painful.
Do any of them hit?
And
that was a 10
7,
for a moment.
A 2, and a 6. So you hit me with a 7 and a 6.
10. I hate you so much for falling over.
I saw that. How armor piercing is your thing?
AP3.
Oh, okay, so infinite, basically. Okay. So I defend with my 10, as usual. And I have, what? A 7 and a 6?
7 and 6.
Okay. I parry the 6 first, and mine is a 9.
9. Oh.
And then the 7, and it's a 8. That was sweet. I'm going to shoot at you with 2d8.
I feel like I've lit myself up for all and sundry.
I shoot at you with like a much more humble gun. And I do 3 and 7. So I hit you with a 7.
Yeah,
because
range.
You're distant, and so and there is a cover. So I hit you at 5+, but 7 gets in, and you parry with your.
I don't think I will. Will I?
D8.
Oh no, I've got 3d8 save.
Oh yeah, but mine is armor piercing 2, so you only roll one.
A single d8. That's all right. That's. I mean, I could potentially save this.
Definitely. You don't.
Not in a 1.
Okay, let's roll a die and see what happens there.
I don't want to die. I've just come on.
You just set up and you die. Turns out you die.
Oh.
Well, that was brief, intense, and pointless.
Well, before he dies, at least he sends his little battle wagon mate away.
Oh, that's true. The thing is, before that happens, I do the second action with this guy.
Okay.
Which is not really amazing or anything, but I'm going to move a bit somewhere. I don't know where though, probably here.
Have you considered retreating?
With this guy?
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there, just in case.
Yeah, it's just that it is fully weaponized. Like I'm gonna just step this and sorry. I don't have it anymore. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this one is just gonna be like here, so you don't see it unless you move around. And then my Socrates has moved. The light cannon has been used, so the 6 is out. And that's it. Okay, so yeah, you commanded this guy. This guy is going to do stuff. Ideally, you can actually come here and shoot me.
I don't know if I can. Can I?
Yeah.
No, I can.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah, because I could get to about there
I
once I
actually
go around the
didn't think
corner.
of that. Okay, let's see what happens. Go for it.
Well, I think we know what's going to happen.
You never know.
I'm going to take him out, obviously, is what I was alluding to there. 2d8.
Correct.
AP2 with a cannon into the flank. Say you have cover there, potentially. Ooh, an 8
it's an 8. The 8 is going to be painful. I'm going to parry it with 1d10, and I do 6. So I'm hit. Let's roll a d6 and see what happens here. It's a 4. So what's the damage? I don't have rocket pods anymore. My rocket pods have been detached or something like that. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, still no rocket pods. And it's pinned.
I'll take that.
That's a good one, yeah.
And back to yourself then.
Very well. So I activated this guy. I activated this guy. I activated this guy, and I activated these guys. Sadly, I cannot get like behind this guy and punch it with the other Xeno, which I have the power fist already loaded for. So I think I'm just going to jump here and punch you.
Oh, no.
The thing is, jumping is not movement, so it doesn't cause reaction, but punching does. So basically, I jump there, and then together you shoot at me, and I punch you. Sorry, not the 3. The 3 is to activate it, and the 2 is the 1, whatever, is to jump. So I'm going to jump behind you, which is nice for me, but you're going to shoot at me too, with the minigun, not with a big gun.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much as strong as my punch. Well, this guy cannot stand still, apparently. Yes. Come on. Okay, I'll call that. I take that. So I punch you and you shoot me. I start punching. Is 2d10. This is 1. Where's the other? Here's 1. And the result is 3 and 2. That's bad. I missed you. Now you shoot me.
It's very good.
Basically,
I like that a lot.
while I was landing on you, the minigun turned on my face, and I mean, if you want to react, of course, you can even decide not to.
Well, I'm already prepped for a cannon shot there, but I assume I would have had to declare anyway in advance.
Yeah, I just assumed that you would. So it's totally on you. Like it's totally up to you. You can totally decide what you want.
No, we'll give you a rake of the old machine gun, so
Okay.
because why not?
3d6.
Maybe I'll hit this time. There's 1. Oops. 2 and 3. And
there's a good chance you will, actually. I love to say that, and then you miss. Okay, 5. The 5 is there. I have to parry with a 10.
See if nobody can take that away from me.
So it's like a... What
5.
is that? Is that a 5 or a 3?
It's a 5.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Looks like it's perfectly balanced in the middle. But yeah, the software says 5. Okay, yeah. I'll take that. Okay, I'm safe. I basically jumped on you and no one got hurt. I'm just gonna, okay, it's better. Okay, so
rapping on the roof.
The Xeno moved. I used the 1. I still have the 4 for a punch in the future because I didn't. No, I used the punch too. Sorry. Okay, that's on you.
Right.
I have battle droids and I have the Xeno with a jumpy. And you have a lot of stuff you can activate, right?
It feels that way, yeah. Some of it may be more slightly dead. In fact, let's just go ahead and remove the dead things to one side. That way out.
Oh, right. Yeah. I was removing mine.
I would feel as bad then. I don't know. It still looks like there's plenty there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my tank commander feels so unwell.
Yeah, it's basically totally smoked. Covered in thick smoke, and every part of the thing is destroyed.
I mean, oh no, the infantrymen have gone because they attacked as you came in, so nope. And that battle tank. Engaged. Better. Ooh. I think my tank commander is possibly going to have to go.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's going to have to go before he goes away. So.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yep. Activate that. So unpin.
So this guy's activated already or not?
Yeah, they've activated.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the tank commander will activate, unpin, and attempt to give your Xenos the good news with the battle cannon. Since he's standing behind me out in the open.
Makes sense. The only problem is you are within 1 distance unit, so you cannot battle cannon me.
Oh, can't.
Also, your battle cannon is on fire.
So
because S2, the damage, S2 means the cannon is... Honestly, the MG is just as good as this distant.
Okie dokie. In that case, because it's free to use the MG, so I won't.
Oh, right. You don't even need to use it.
Yep. Spend the dice to unpin him. No, I have another D6 somewhere. They generally roll badly. Oh, there we go. Okay. There's a 6 going in. Yep.
And I'm gonna. So is this Xeno damaged in some way? No, I just have one that doesn't have rocket pods, and it's a Socrates. Okay. So I roll a D10, and I do a 10. Okay.
Oh my god.
Very lucky today. Very well.
Untouchable.
Yeah, indeed. So what else do you have to activate? This unit, I think.
Just that unit, yeah.
And this one.
Well, the little guy at the back.
Oh, and you only have 1 die, so it's either one or the other. So, well, you can react. It's like, we'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy the Socrates, and I'm going to put dice. I don't have the right dice for the rocket pod, which is sad because it would have been perfect. I'm just going to put some on the cannon. I am going to deploy it here.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to move actually here. Then I'm going to move it here, basically where it was before. And then I'm going to shoot these guys. My goal is just to pin them, because this way I get your objective.
You take the objective.
Your tank is a vehicle. You didn't spend an action to contest. So I'm just going to roll the 2d8. I hit you at 6+. It's a 7 and a 2. So I'm happy already.
I can't even stop that. So I'll
That's
lose
correct.
one.
This one is pinned, so I got this under control. I'm happy. This is done. I used the die. I didn't need the die to activate it because it was deployed. And that's it. Your turn.
Right. I will. I'll deploy some scouts, I think.
Oh, okay. All right. You have quite a few more things. That just the deployed ones, and each is going to do one action, which is nice. So scouts also have the ability, if you pay 1 to 3, to deploy them wherever you want on the table. You don't have the die now.
Yeah, no.
But just saying.
I mean, that's a lost cause over there, but we still potentially could take this back here. So, yeah. Let's deploy these guys over here. And then they get one action so they can move up to 2DU.
That's correct. And remember, if they're in cover, they're unhittable from distance, which is pretty nice.
Back in the fight, soldier. You know what? They're somewhere back there.
I'm really sorry.
That's all right. It's me and technology. That's where the thing
So you
fails.
basically deployed like here at the edge and moved here. Because you cannot deploy within 9 inches, but you can totally deploy here and move here. Like that's totally within the rules.
Okay. Still within 6, isn't it? Oh, no, they'd have to come back to about here. So
okay.
Just the other side.
Yeah, it's a good thing that if this was pinned, you could totally deploy wherever you wanted and basically wreck it, even just shooting because it was pinned, but no.
Okay.
So I cannot do much now. What I can do is to try and hit this guy and kill this guy before it unpins. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use like a 4 here. I'm going to put a 6 on the ray gun just because why not? And I'm going to first unpin. Why putting a 6 on the ray gun since I'm going to shoot? Whatever. I'm just going to shoot and the ray gun is going to be there with 2d6 on this guy. I hit at 4+. Chances are on my side. Yes, this time they are for real. Last time I said it didn't work well. So I hit you with a 4 and a 6. You must counter a 4 and a 6.
Okay, we'll try the 4 first.
Sure. Okay. No need to
nothing
if
not predictable.
Yeah. Okay, so these guys are no more. Sorry. Yep. Mine are unpinned. You still can deploy 2 guys and try to pin them, I guess. These guys will want to be pinned as well. I don't know which one is better for you. Totally up to you. And then for me, the round has ended.
So, okay. Well, I've got 1 dice left.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Because I couldn't use all my battle cannon earlier. So if I use that on my little troop carrier at the back.
So the problem is that the troop carrier, the idea is that the MG on top is not something that they usually use. Someone has to go up there. So you need a die to shoot.
That's all right. I've got a die on that troop carrier because
you got it.
For the perfect, so I was keeping it for the reaction.
Oh, that's perfect then.
You can totally use the dice to activate.
Absolutely. You get in close combat.
Yeah.
And just destroy. Also, it's very fast. It can go pretty much wherever.
Let's just go to there for the time being. It's close enough to give you the good news anyway. And then spend a die for his little MG and see whether or not I can prevent a total whitewash in this turn. 3d6.
That's great.
And your defense?
It's 4+. So 5 and 6. I counter the 5 with a d8. And that's I don't know what it is, but in either case, it's fine. And a 6.
And the 6 counters the 6.
I mean, I am boring. I am boringly lucky today. I'm sorry.
I thought I was on the cusp of greatness there, or at least mediocrity.
Another action you could have done is just to go near the guys and counter.
Yeah, just to stop the victory point being.
Yeah, claimed. I mean, it would have been like less effective than destroying anything. But actually, I'm silly. You hit me. Like you did it. I saved it, but I'm still pinned.
Because they're infantry. They still take the pin.
Yeah. So these are pinned. Okay.
I have a couple of things left to deploy, but that's it.
Well, the things to deploy, you can shoot. If you deploy here, you can try to shoot at my things here.
Let's see how far away.
It is very interesting because usually this game doesn't go, like usually this scenario, people tend to weigh on one side or another. So everyone gets points. And here we are at the end of is that the second or the third turn?
That was the end of the third.
That's the end of third, and nobody got a single point yet, which is very surprising.
Pushing on both, you see. Pushing on both. So, let me see. The walkers theoretically could deploy over here, but how it's outside 3 distance units for.
Yeah, the limit is 3. So basically you can now go anywhere till here.
Okay, so if that one goes in there, can he still see?
Yeah, you can but I'm in cover and there is a cover in between. I mean, the only cover that matters is this one, but still.
Is this these are 2 separate units?
Yep. So anywhere here. Oh, right. Here's perfect. Actually, no. I'm basically covering anything.
Covering back.
Yeah.
Fiend.
No, you can stay in this small area here.
Just in between.
Yeah.
I feel so lucky.
It is actually not impossible to entirely block any chance of deploying.
That's fine. Yeah. Because I'm outside both there anyway. So, actually start on the table. That'd be great. Thanks.
So both of them can shoot, I guess. No, both of them require dice to shoot, so you can move them.
Moving is 2 DUs. Slow, quick, slow. Just move him to there. And probably just him to there. And I think that's the end of that turn. Okay, it's the start of what would be turn 4. However, at the end of turn 3, you actually claimed the left-hand victory or objective.
That's correct.
So I think erring on the side of caution and the fact that I've got a command tank that is smoking heavily at the moment, I'm probably going to concede before I get absolutely wrecked. But because of claiming that objective, you would have garnished yourself a couple of victory cards as well.
Or one more, yes.
So do you want to talk us through the victory cards then?
Yeah. So at the end of turn 3, I was controlling one objective. It was the first time it was being controlled. So I got like the token. So basically that was a one-off. Plus I was the one controlling more points because no one else was controlling any. Okay. On this side, there was infantry of Gerry's infantry, but it was pinned, so it didn't count. And the tank, other than being abundantly smoking, it was also a vehicle. So it cannot just control deny the control.
Deny automatically.
It's an action for that. So I got 2 victory cards. The 2 victory cards are they're supposed to be kept secret until the end of the game, but this is the end of the game. And the 2 victory cards are both 3 victory points if kept in hand secret until the end of the game. So you don't know how many points I have. Might be 4, might be 8, depending on the victory cards. Like they usually range between 2 and 5. Or I could reveal them. And if I reveal this one, I basically lose one of the points, but I can reroll my dice once more. If I roll this one, I actually get to set 3 activation dice to values I need. Both are very precious. They can be used as instants, so they don't need to be used as an activation. And they can really help the game. Of course, you lose points. So right now I have 6 points and you have 0. Let's say that in the next turns you would get some, I would get some. But then every lost unit, you add up the cost of the units, and every 5 points you lose 1 victory point. So right now you did lose not a lot of the units, but most of them are sort of incapacitated. So this one is basically smoking, this one is really smoking, and your infantry is sort of not there anymore.
Poor infantry.
Basically, right now, I somehow very luckily managed not to lose many of my mechs in particular. So I am sort of controlling the table right now. So probably going on in the game, I would have controlled more stuff and got even more points. So like the conceding seems very reasonable now.
Especially so if even though you may be sitting with a hand of 9 or 10 victory points worth of cards, if you've suffered a lot of losses to get there, you could actually end up drawing or even losing the game overall.
That is true. And since I don't know how many points you have in your hand, but I know how many positive points you lost, I might make an educated guess.
Yeah, you might decide whether or not to push it or to...
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I might try to kill more of your units instead of getting points, because that might actually put me in a better position. Like if it's safer to kill units, I might even just want to kill units. But if I get a point, I actually get also the ability to like do something cool because the card allows that. That's nice.
Yeah. I like that. It varies how your gameplay sort of progresses as well. Yeah. Because if you come across an interesting victory point card, you've got that risk reward. It's a nice balance of I've got money in the bank or points in my hand, but at the same time, being able to set 3 dice for the next turn could be
it's an investment.
Massively game winning for you, or pull you back from the brink if you're just hanging on by your fingertips there.
Absolutely.
Fascinating game. I really enjoy. Well, I don't enjoy my dice rolls, but I blame that on Tabletop Simulator. Except I do it in real life as well, so I can't blame it on Tabletop Simulator. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how things play out, and for more people to start playing through Full Spectrum Dominance as well. We'll put links below to the various things so people can keep track of it and get involved when the campaign goes live as well. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you with us today, Jack.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gerry.
All right, folks, if you've any questions, please feel free to drop them below. We'll pass them across to the guys at Lazy Forger. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.